Joining us now is a great American and a great friend, Benny Johnson, host of The Benny Show. Benny, welcome to the program. There's lots to discuss, but I was moved because one of my family members says, Charlie, do you remember that amazing documentary you did when you sent Benny down to Cuba? You should remind people about it with the rise of Mr. Mamdani. So Benny, has done many, many projects with us. I want to play this piece of tape here, and I believe this is from the Benny Cuba documentary. But I'm going to play this, and then I'll allow you to kind of narrate it. This is cut 368. People rushing into a grocery store because they only open them at certain times and have a set supply. This is what government-run grocery stores get you. Play cut 368.
All of a sudden, the guards come to the gate and they open the gate. And that's when, I've never seen this before, but everyone swarms. People started running, even people that weren't in line, that were just like in the area, just start sprinting in there because this is their only chance to get their essentials and the necessities to feed their families.
Benny, what did you learn when you went to Cuba? We have more pieces of tape to play. But Benny, you went to Cuba. What did you learn about government-run grocery stores?
Yeah, I mean, I understand why people would flee Cuba and risk being interned in Alligator Alcatraz because it is truly hell on earth. It's like a bizarro world video game, Charlie. It's like when you see a post-apocalyptic scene inside of a Hollywood movie where there was once a thriving society, there was once a functional people, a functional architecture of the city, but it's all been rotted and it's all been crumbled down to its lowest common criminal denominator. It's very sad to go through Havana. It's very sad to see these old, beautiful Spanish castles that have just decayed and are now truly just crumbling directly into the street. And the people there in the nation of Cuba are also eternally depressed. It was a sick experience. It was an experience that's obviously telling for the capacity of this ideology to potentially migrate here into the States. It's horrible. We had the mayor of Miami on, who's himself a son of Cuban dissidents that had to flee Castro's regime. And he said, this is American Castro. Zorhan Mandami is American Castro, and he will do to New York what he's done to Havana. Inside of that grocery store, by the way, every single item, there was just government-owned stamps on everything. So like a can of beans, a piece of frozen chicken, there was mainly empty shelves, but everything just comes from the same processing
I'm going to play this. It's unbelievable, and the quality is terrible.
There you go. It's weird.
There's some of those videos. Let's play cut 370.
Yeah. The effects of socialism are everywhere. Crumbling infrastructure and disgusting living conditions. That is what socialism has brought to Cuba. Maybe the socialists in America should take a short trip, a short 90-mile trip, and come here and say they want this in America. It was like going through ruins. The horrific thing is that no one is living in the Pantheon right now. Like, no one lives in the Acropolis. It's a ruin. These are ruins that people are living in. Socialism is popular in America now. What do you think of socialism?
It's very popular.
Yeah.
Wow. But now for us, no, it's good. For Cuban people now.
Not good?
No, my friend, no, it's possible petroleum.
Yeah.
Nothing. For this, the people, no, it's possible go for the working.
And one more here. This is the grocery store one. Before I play the grocery store one, remind people, Benny, this is what Mamdani wants to do in New York. I'm going to play it in a second, but walk us through. So you went to Cuba. How did you even get cameras in it? Remind the audience about all of it.
Well, they confiscated our drones when we got into Cuba. We had to sit there for 6 hours while they went through all of our bags. And then they eventually raided the Airbnb that we were staying at. Federal agents from the communist regime raided the Airbnb and tried to take our SD cards, tried to take the footage that we were filming there. So we had to actually flee the country. Thank God that President Trump was president. If Joe Biden were president, I assume that we would be potentially incarcerated to this day. I want to go back to Cuba. I want to head back there and because it's just gotten worse. It hasn't gotten any better. It's gotten far worse than when we were there. The footage that you're showing is 5 years old. And so I would actually like to head back and show people, because it seems like this is now making, again, a resurgence. They want to bring Havana to New York.
373.
So I really hope that you like Conchita Mango Marmalade, because we have a whole aisle of it. Here in Cuba, you can get an individually wrapped hamburger, and that's as fresh as the meat actually gets. Oh, this one's all melty. But my God, can you get a lot of the exact same brand of garbanzo beans. And then after you're done buying all these incredible products, you can stand in line for literally an hour, which is as long as we've been standing in line. And I'm telling you, you probably are not going to like Cuba that much. There was literally no fresh fruit, no fresh meat, no fresh vegetables, nothing. There was one brand of the things they did have, and the things they didn't have, well, screw you.
I'm actually glad that I've gone on the communist Cuba diet. I've probably lost like 35 pounds since we filmed that, and so being there inspired me, Charlie. So I've been eating garbanzo beans for the last 5 years, straight from Havana. It's actually done wonders.
The best weight loss program that we have. It's not Ozempic. It's not keto. It's not cold plunging. We will send you to Cuba. You will lose 30 pounds in a month.
AOC could use that actually right now. AOC could potentially.
Shots fired. I'm not saying anything. But more effective than Ozempic. You see, capitalism, you tend to gain weight. We got nothing but food here. You then went to AOC's now origins. I think we have a piece of tape here, but you went to AOC's hometown. She's not a girl from the Bronx. Is that what we're finding out?
Oh no, she's a total fraud. Ever since she was an infant, before she could walk or talk, AOC has been raised in a leafy, clean, and beautiful suburb that is pristine and low on crime. That is one of those places that gets painted in American history by people like Norman Rockwell. It's a place called Yorktown Heights, the hamlet of Yorktown Heights. It's 120 minutes from downtown Manhattan. It's a far ways away from the hardscrabble, working class Bronx girl persona that AOC tries to project onto the world. We went and traveled there and exposed AOC for the fraud that she is. You know, a lot of people in MAGA hats, and there's actually a Trump sign right across from AOC's home that she was raised in, Charlie. And it's not that she would just like live there for a little bit. She went to preschool there. Then she went to elementary school, middle school, high school there. And then she graduated and went to Boston University. So she's a total and complete fraud. The working class Bronx girl is a liar.
Let's play cut 363.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bronx. This is where AOC says she's from. And this is where AOC is actually from. Welcome to Yorktown, the business hamlet of Yorktown Heights. There's mansions everywhere. It's beautiful, it's green, it's pristine, it's clean. And they even have a Christopher Columbus Society. I thought AOC got all those statues ripped down. Some structural racism right here in AOC's hometown. Today we're gonna investigate the biggest lie in all of politics, the fraud of AOC.
And so, Benny, what did you learn in that investigation?
Well, me and the 40 million people who have actually seen that video learned that AOC has been lying. And this is working class stolen valor. It's exactly what Kamala Harris tried to do when she said that she worked at McDonald's. This is something that is going to be used against her if she tries to run in 2028. And Charlie, she is number 2, according to some polls, in the Democrat positioning for 2028. So this is a major threat to AOC. I don't understand why Democrats can't just accept that America is a beautiful and wonderful country, and to be from a place like Yorktown Heights is a major privilege, and you should be thankful for it and not vengefully hate your country. But here's what we learned from some of the people that went to school with AOC, Charlie. We learned that she was a big bully and that she was unhappy and that she was one of the people in high school that you just didn't want to be around. And so maybe she just took all that angst and that lack of fulfillment and that self-deprecation into politics, that self-loathing that you kind of see on the left so often, and she just channeled it into communism like they always do.
And so, Benny, kind of taking a step back here and covering socialism for quite some time, what is the driving force of Mamdani, and how do we defeat him?
Yeah, well, Trump told me yesterday he's just going to put him in jail. So there's that. But that's because Mamdani is proposing multiple policies that are patently illegal. Mamdani wants to tax people based on their skin color. He says so, and he doubled down on that, Charlie, in fact, this weekend, saying that white people in New York need to pay more taxes. That's something that obviously drew a rebuke from the Trump Justice Department. But President Trump told me yesterday when I asked him about Mamdani that he's going to be facing serious federal threats for stopping ICE enforcement in the city of New York. This is what he promised to do when he won in his nomination speech last week. So how do you stop them? I'm not sure. And it begs the question, Charlie, that I don't know the answer to, which is, do we let our great American cities fail? Do we give them what they want? Democracy, of course, is the people know what they want and they deserve to get it good and hard. So do we give New Yorkers the communism that they wish to live under? Is that the only way to learn? I don't know the answer to that question.
When you take time to understand how God has consistently blessed America, pouring his grace and mercy on us over and over again, it will give you hope for the days ahead. We cannot afford to forget our past, good and bad, or we will forfeit the best opportunities of our future. God bless America. Again, this book will sharpen your perspective on what it means to bring God's truth into our nation today. Alan Jackson Ministries is working hard to bring back biblical truth back into our culture. Go to alanjackson.com/Charlie for free shipping on God Bless America. Again, that's Alan Jackson, ALLEN Jackson.com/Charlie. I love what I learned from Alan Jackson, and you will too. Benny will be at our Student Action Summit, SAS2025.com in Tampa. He lives in Tampa. Benny, remind our audience how great these Turning Point USA events are.
Yeah, just makes you believe in your country, and you can see the core of the energy, where the nation is heading. And this moment that we're in right now wouldn't surprise you if you were going to these conferences 4 years ago. And you could see that this was a movement that was durable, that was going to last. And you can't kill an idea. And this is an idea that this country isn't over yet, and that we have God's providence here. And it's really wonderful to see it on display and in full motion. Man, we saw it yesterday at Alligator Alcatraz. It was wild.
I do want to play that. You asked the question of President Trump at 348. Play cut 348.
Mr. President, in 2018, you suggested putting alligators in the Rio Grande to prevent crossings in Texas. Is this a dream come true for you, sir?
Well, I was thinking about that, I must say. It was meant more as a joke, but the more I thought of it, the more I liked it, if you want to know the truth. And they were serious. They were actually crocodiles. They were crocodiles from Africa. They are a step beyond. But no, that was really meant as a joke, but a lot of people liked it. And a lot of people think we should do it, frankly.
Benny,
I mean, what people miss
more.
there, Charlie, is that Donald Trump's open to putting African crocodiles in the Rio Grande. So while Joe Biden was putting African criminal aliens into small towns in Ohio, changing forever the culture of those towns and making them unrecognizable, Donald Trump is putting African crocodiles in the Rio Grande. He's open to it. And you can see Secretary Noem was kind of like, oh, you know what? I haven't thought about that in a while.
So, Benny,
I'm just saying, we're asking the questions that people want, Charlie. We're asking the questions that people deserve to hear.
You know, so tell us, being there up close and personal, it was kind of like a mini Trump rally at Alligator Alcatraz. Christine Noem was there. We need more of this. What else did you learn, and what did you see at Alligator Alcatraz you want our audience to know about?
That it's the cleanest and most secure and most sanitary conditions I've seen in any prison. That is a higher standard than our federal prison system actually has for inmates, and that is right there on an airport. As soon as you arrive, as soon as a detainee arrives at Alligator Alcatraz, which is the most dangerous prison in America, not because of the conditions inside, but because of the conditions outside, because it is surrounded by 1 million alligators, and it's surrounded by hundreds of millions of mosquitoes about the size of hummingbirds, and also pythons and other venomous snakes. You just can't escape from it, but there is an airstrip there, Charlie, and you can take a plane home. And that's the first thing that's offered the criminal aliens that are brought into Alligator Alcatraz. And this is going to shock you, Charlie. The government can do things. It can, if it wants to. The people who built Alligator Alcatraz here in the state of Florida, they were able to build it in 72 hours. This is it was nothing. It was a slab of concrete, and they have a fully functional federal prison in 72 hours. So it can happen with the right leadership. Government can actually work for the people. And the only way out, and the best way out of Alligator Alcatraz, is certainly not to try and escape, but to get on a plane and to go home.
Benny Johnson, tell our audience about where they can find you, where they could support you, and what is the best part of the golden age that you are experiencing right now that you want, that you think is not getting enough media attention?
Well, I think this is the given the past 24 hours, what I'd like to say on that is that we are the media now. And that shows like Charlie's and shows like mine, you can find me at Benny Johnson on all social media, and the Benny Show, that we are able to ask the questions that people actually care about. We were able to ask President Trump 4 questions. All 4 of them trended globally and worldwide and got major attention. And we were able to run circles around what is the corporate media. And that's because we answer to you, the American people. And it's our great honor to do that. It's a huge compliment to the team at the White House that allows for independent voices to have access to the president. And that's how you actually get the truth.
Benny, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you at the Student Action Summit a week from Friday. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Charlie.
SAS2025.com. That is the Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida. Let me just remind you, Greg Gutfeld, Tucker Carlson, Kristi Noem, Donald Trump Jr., the biggest speakers in the movement, an all-star lineup. It is time for unity. It is time for conviction. It is time for energy. It is time for purpose. It is time for action, action, action. Steve Bannon will be doing a show live. I'll be doing my show live. Benny Johnson will be doing his show live. You cannot put together a movement or a combination of speakers even remotely close to this. It's SAS2025.com. That is SAS2025.com. Laura Ingraham will be there. We're going to have debates. We're going to have breakout sessions. We're going to have vendors. We're going to have exhibitors. You want to find your future husband, find your future wife. It's an amazing place to do that. SAS2025.com. Week from Friday. Biggest event in the movement this summer. SAS2025.com. Get your tickets. Tampa, Florida.